Hello lovely people, welcome back to another interesting sewing tutorial which we are going to draft this beautiful gown that you see on the screen. If this is something you are interested on, keep on watching. So what you need is just your pattern paper, your tape, your ruler and your measurements. Measurement needed is your shoulder measurement, your armhole measurement, your bust measurement, your waist measurement, your under bust measurement, your hip measurement, and the full length. Starting the drafting with the skate first. So the upper bodice will be 17 inches. That is my half length, is 17 inches. That's from the shoulder to the waistline. So I will minus that half length from the full length of the dress. So that is how I will get the length of my skates. For example, if my full length is 57, then my upper bodice is 17. So the skate will be 40 inches. So let's start. My pattern is on 4. Can you see? My pattern paper is on 4. And this is my center and this is my side. So the first line here is my waistline and that is my starting point. From that waistline, I will draw another line to my hip line. So measure yourself and do the same thing. So the next one will be to my wrist knee line. And then the full length of my skates. I will put it here so that I can draw a straight line. I'll go ahead and name my lines. Then the first thing will be for me to impute my waist measurement, divide by 4 plus my dart. If you are using a material that is stretchy, like the one you see on the screen, you might not even need a dart. Or you can hold your dart before cutting on your fabric. The next one will be for me to divide my hip measurement by 4 and I will mark it down. So I will mark my same hip measurement divide by 4 on my wrist knee line as well. And I will mark them on my full length line. I'll go ahead and connect all the points. So the next thing I will do will be for me to go ahead and mark my dart. So to impute my dart, I will mark my bust span measurement divide by 2. So the one I'm working with is 9 inches. When I divide by 2, that will be 4.5. Then I'm going to come down for my dart. The length of my dart will be 5 inches for the front. So go ahead and connect to have a straight line. The next thing will be for me to mark ½ inch on both sides of the line. Then I'll connect it here. Remember, we added 1 inch for the dart. Can you see? Then let's tighten the down part of the skate. To do that, I'm going to minus 2 inches from my waist knee line and also from my full length line. You can decide to minus 1.5. You can decide to minus 2.5. What pencil you want the skate to be, and also consider your ability to walk very well with the skate. So minus 2 inches, 2 inches. Then I'll connect it to my hip line. I'll go ahead and cut out my pattern. So I'll go ahead and transfer my darts to the other side. So to draw the style line, this is my center front. I will draw another line so that it can be visible. This crease line, that is my center front. So this is my center front. So to draw the style line, I'll come to my hip line. Can you see? This side of my hip line. I'm going to draw a curve line all the way. I'll connect it to my center front. So I'm going to use my curve ruler and curve it to these other points. You can decide to use your free hand. Can you see? So I decided to use my free hand instead of curve roller. So I'll go ahead and cut that out. Can you see? I'll use this one and trace out another pattern, the same like this. So this is the pattern paper that I'm using. So I will go ahead and trace this out. For me to do that, I will turn it this other way. So we just need to place them on each other. Can you see? So this is how to go about with the drafting of the down part of this beautiful style. When cutting on your fabric, make sure to add your seam allowances, your hemming allowance, and your joining allowance. So let's draft the upper bodice. As you can see, this is my pattern paper. I've gone ahead to make some of my markings. This is my shoulder line. The first thing I did was for me to draw my starting point, which is the shoulder line. Then the next one is my chest line. That is from the shoulder to the chest. Then the next one is from the shoulder to my bust point. That is the bust line. And then from the shoulder to the under bust. And then from the shoulder to the waist line or the half length. And also I marked my shoulder measurement. That is the shoulder divided by 2. And I also impute my neck measurement. This is 3 by 3. That is 3 inches neck width and 3 inches neck depth. And I slope my shoulder by 1.5. Then I impute my bust measurement divided by 4 on the chest line. Coming to this line that connects the shoulder slope with the chest line, I come up by 3 inches. Then I mark 0.5 inch towards my center front and I connected my shoulder slope to the chest line to form my armhole cuff. So the next thing now will be for us to impute our dart for the bustier. I will come to my bust line. I will mark half of my bust span measurement. That is the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Mark same on my under bust line and also on my waist line. I'll connect to have a straight line. The next thing will be for me to determine the dart that I'm going to impute. I'm going to make use of 2.5 inches dart intake. This side, from this line to my side front, I'm going to make use of 1.5 inch dart, and this way will be 1 inch. So I'll first mark my 1 inch on the under bust line and also on my waist line. Then I'll mark 1.5 on this other side, also on the under bust line and on my waist line. I'll connect the points. So to form my curve, I'm going to use my curve roller. But if you don't have this roller, you can use your free hand. You'll still get the curve. So I will connect it. Can you see? Now the next thing will be for me to come up here, mark half of my shoulder line. I'll connect it here. Then I will determine how deep I want my neckline to be. I want it to be 6 inches below the shoulder line. So I'm going to tighten my upper bust. I'm going to use 1 inch, that is half inch on both sides of the line. I'll connect it to my bust point as well. Then I'm going to replace this 1 inch that I will replot my armhole. Can you see? This is my new armhole. So now I will go ahead and impute the rest of my horizontal measurement. I'll come to my waistline. I'm going to mark my waist measurement, divide by 4, plus this 2.5 inches that I'm going to connect my line now. The next thing I will do before me to impute my bust dart. So I need a bust dart of 1.5 inches. Your bust dart, you can, for you to know the amount of dart you need on the bust, is for you to measure from your shoulder to your waist for the front and from the shoulder to the waist for the back. Whatever differences that you have should be your bust dart. I'll shape my dart. Can you see? So before I cut this pattern, for us to do the design that is in the upper part of this cloth, can you see the design? We're going to trace this out for the design. So I will first of all cut out only the pattern, but I'm not going to cut this part out. Now that I've cut this out, I'll go ahead and use this to trace out on my pattern. And I've gone ahead to place the one that we just drafted on top of it. I'm going to trace it. I'm not tracing everything. I just need to trace the dots and my bust points. We'll actually impute that on the design.
For my dart, I want to make use of 1.5 inches dart intake. So that will be 0.75 on each side of the dart.
And then I'll determine how long I want it to be. So I want it to be 3 inches below my shoulder line. Remember, our front was 17 inches. That is from the shoulder to the waistline. So I'll just minus 3.5 inches. So 17 minus 3.5. That will give me 18.5. So come here, I will draw the line. And then here, as you can see on the picture, the design,
Extend to the arm.
you see. So you need to measure from one part of the arm to the other. Whatever measurement you have, that is what you are going to use. Let's assume I'm using 21 inches. My paper is on 4, so I'll just mark my 10.5 here. Then I'm going to connect it all the way down to this part. So before connecting it, I'm going to take off my pattern. So I'll go ahead and mark my dots. So I will go ahead and trace out my dots. So this is the design for the front. I'm going to keep it now. Let's continue with the bustier. I'll go ahead and cut my bustier pattern now. This is the bustier pattern. When you want to cut it on your fabric, make sure that you add your sewing allowance of 0.5 all through, and you're joining allowance to the skate part. Then you're turning allowance. So this is the design.
I'll go ahead and hold my darts.
So this is my bustier. I've joined it. Then this is the design. Can you see how beautiful it looks like? So make sure you cut out two. One will be for the front like this, and the other one will be for your back piece. So I just want to show you how you will join it. So after cutting your fabric, make sure you align the center of this design to the center of your bustier. So this is how it will look like. This is the inside. So you will do your normal joining. You join your normal back and front, and this is how the design will be. The back bodice, just draft your basic bodice, and because of this design, you will not have a zipper on the back. You can put your zipper at the side. So this is the complete pattern set. My upper bodice on the skate part. Can you see how beautiful and neat it looks like? So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and turn on your notification bell so that when I upload new sewing tutorial, you'll be notified. See you on our next tutorial. Bye bye.